This is part two of a presentation that was done for the U3A Nunawading Summer School in January 2013. And this one is looking at Google and exactly what Google can do for you, a bit about browsers, social networking, in particular, what is it and do you need it, should you be a part of it? And in the final section, would be looking at entertainment. How do you actually connect your TV to the internet, so smart TVs, Apple TV, on-demand TV. Before we start that, just a website that I discovered in preparing for this presentation, Broadband for Seniors. So it's an Australian site. So those who are in Australia watching this would strongly suggest you have a look at that site because it has a whole lot of ideas and tutorials and information about getting connected and helping you. It also has some recorded webinars. So if you actually want to know how do I create a Twitter account or how do I use, and this example here is why I choose Google Chrome as a browser, you can actually listen to it. It's a recorded webinar, they're called, so lectures perhaps. If you look on the previous site's website, they actually have a timetable of the webinars, so that if you want to contribute and participate in one, you can do that one live, and then they're recorded. Good for expanding and broadening your understanding of technology. So let's get back to Google. What can Google actually do for you? Before you can use all of Google's services, it is a good idea to create a Google account. Now, you don't need an account if you just want to do a web search or you want to look up a map, but for some of their services, it will require a Google ID and password. So that's the site there. It'll provide entry for all of Google's services. If you've got a Gmail account, you can also use that as your Google account. So even just starting by creating a Gmail account, it will allow you to sign up for all services. There is a lot more information that you need to put in. This is just the first screen. And if it suggests two-step authentication, then that would be a very good idea too, because that's going to protect your identity and ensure that you get the most secure connections, and that if anyone's going to hack your account, they're going to have a little bit more trouble. So the major element of Google is their web search. And when you go into the browser and you search whatever you put in, and the good thing about Google search engine anyway is that you can put in a phrase, you can put in a sentence, you can put in keywords. There are some very specific ways to search, but if you not really know what you want, just putting in a sentence will get you something, a phrase. And you can also filter it, whatever results you get along the top there. This will give you web results, the one that's highlighted. If you just want Google Images, you can just select whatever comes up in your search results. Click Images. If you want the maps, click the maps. So it's a good way of filtering that little search bar across the top there. A good way of filtering whatever results you get back. Google Toolbar, I think only Internet Explorer allows you to put this in now, but you can actually download a Google Toolbar, which has a lot of the Google services inside it. It doesn't work for Safari or Firefox anymore, or Chrome, but if you still want Google tools like icons, and you're using Internet Explorer, then you can download that. The Chrome browser is the browser that Google uses and is fully integrated with all of the Google services. It is a very good browser. It's very minimalist. It hasn't got a lot of extra stuff to bog it down and slow it down. It's quite secure. It sandboxes some of the more difficult or services like Java, except for Flash. There is a link there to actually go and see what features it has, and you can use more than one browser. So you can be using Internet Explorer or Firefox or Safari as your main browser, your default browser, but you could also use Chrome and switch between them. There is no need to stay with one. Google is a very good browser, and it integrates well with all of the other Google services. You can add extensions to it, so you can enhance its uses, its productivity, its efficiency, its usefulness by adding small little plug-in programs. All the browsers have them. So Internet Explorer has add-ins and plug-ins. That's what they're sometimes called, extensions, and so does Firefox, and so does Safari. And this one is an example of going to the I think it's the tools menu of the toolbar in Chrome while you're in Chrome, and selecting extensions, which takes you to the extensions library, if you like, the Chrome shop, where you can search for different extensions. And when you add them, in this case, all of the icons there are extensions that I've added, which allows me to use those services just by clicking on that tab rather than actually typing them. So if I wanted to go to Evernote and use my Evernote account, instead of going into the browser and typing in evernote.com, all I have to do is click that link. Some of the other extensions actually go in the toolbar as a small icon. So up in the top right of the toolbar, there's a YouTube downloader. There's another YouTube extension that turns all videos into the high definition version. There's an Evernote link. There's a 1Password link. Uh, all to make your browsing much more seamless. There is a tutorial site. So this site here, gcflearnfree.org, has a whole lot of tutorials on a range of topics. But in this case, they have some tutorials on Chrome, how to actually use Chrome. So interactive videos, some extras, some lessons, some short videos, and working your way through that would teach you how to use Chrome quite quickly. Google has a lot of services that are sort of media related. So YouTube being the most important one, with YouTube being in terms of number of videos downloaded, the highest, the third largest country in the world. You can go onto YouTube via a web browser by just going youtube.com. If you're on a mobile device like a tablet, iPad, phone, you can download an app for YouTube, which will get you using it. You can just go onto YouTube and search for a video. You don't need to be a member or have an account. But if you want to save some of those videos as favorites or create playlists or upload your own videos, then you need a YouTube account. And on that link there, you can sign in. If you already have your Google account, you just sign in and that creates your YouTube account. Or on the top right, there's create an account. You could always just create a new one, which would mean when you click that you're actually creating a Google account. So if you've got a Gmail account, you've got a Google account, sign in and create a YouTube account. It's much easier to find when you're looking and browsing on YouTube to create or add the video to your favorite so you can find it again later, because of all those millions of videos, it's very hard to find the same one again. So YouTube with an account, this is essentially what you can do. Set up playlists and favorites. You can subscribe to other people's YouTube channels. So if there's a channel that you like that is putting out lots of videos that you are liking, so for example, I have a channel that I put all the videos that I do, my iPad ones, my apps videos, and they're all in one place. So if you want anything more from me, you can subscribe to my channel. You can see the name of that channel and how to do that. In the description or at the very end of the video, there's a link. Other people have channels too, so I subscribe to other people's channels who are putting out content that I really like. And then every time they put out a new video, you get notified of that on your YouTube homepage. You can download YouTube movies to your hard drive. So there are software online. If you Google it, you'll be able to find some software that'll download YouTube movies. There is a site called keepvid.com, which will allow you to download YouTube movies if for some reason you want to keep them. Often you might not. You just want to be able to watch them again. You don't necessarily need to keep it. You can save them as a favorite and then go back and look at them. You can also use AirPlay, which is on an Apple TV or an iPad, to show the movie and project the movie onto your TV so that you're actually looking at the video, not in a small screen on a phone or a 10-inch tablet, but you want to project it onto your big screen TV. And you need an Apple TV to do that. And more on that later in this presentation. You can also stream movies from YouTube to your tablet or smartphone. So if you have the YouTube app that you can get for the mobile device, and you found a movie that you want to watch, as you click that and start to watch it, it's streaming from the YouTube site down to your phone. It's not kept, so if you once it's watched, if you want to watch it again and you click it again, it'll stream again. So all that uses up data. If you want to keep that video and only pay for it or use your data once, then you need to download it. Streaming is sending a little bit, then sending another little bit and buffering it as it goes, and it's in real time. YouTube's an app now on most smart TVs. So if you have a new TV, a smart TV, one of the apps on those TVs, just about all of them have it, is YouTube. So when you switch on your TV to the input where you're looking at your apps, you can select YouTube TV. You could sign in straight onto the TV with your remote control TV to your YouTube account, where you can then play your favourites or your playlists or your channels that you subscribe to. It's just a good way of organising your viewing experience. So downloading YouTube. If you want to download video with YouTube, there are many extensions in all the browsers. So if you went to Firefox and in the Tools menu went to Add-ons, and that's an example there of the Firefox add-ons from my computer here and the extensions that I have added onto my browser. I've got a couple of YouTube ones. One will download it, one will tweak the settings on it. Safari, to find it on Safari, you go to the Safari extensions. If you're on Chrome, you go to Window extensions. They're the menus. And if you're in Internet Explorer, there actually is an extensions gallery. The links in this video are provided on an accompanying document, which you can download, and you'll find the link to that in the description of this video. And there's also another one there. How do you download YouTube video using KeepVid, which is a video that I've done. That's the way I use, the method I use. Very simple, and you can download the highest resolution version of that video. YouTube is fantastic for media. Anything you want to find out is usually a YouTube video on it. If you want to know how to use a bit of software, use an app, how to do something, YouTube will have it. It's not just viral videos and talking cats. It is much more useful than that. This one's an extension example for Chrome called Stumbleupon, and that allows you to find new web pages. So you put in the settings, you put in your interests, and there's some of the interests that I put in, just an example. I like cats and computers and computer hardware. Then when you click the Stumble button, it will give you a random website according to one of your interests, just to show you. So it's a way to find new websites for your interests, and it's a good time waster. It does nothing more than that, but I've found a few websites just by doing that. Clicking the stumble, and click the stumble, and we'll see what the website comes up. If it's no good, we'll click the stumble, another one will come up. It's entirely random, and it all depends on your interests that you put into the settings. There's also Stumbleupon for tablets and phones as well. There's an app. If you like it, you can do it on your mobile device as well. Google also has images. And the website there, the link there is the link to directly get Google Images, but you can also find images simply by clicking the filter on the web search one as well. Putting in a search term there, the results will simply return images only. It's a good way of finding pictures on a topic. The Google Video, another link that will just find videos on a certain topic. So the search query that I put in there was download YouTube. It's given me all of those possibilities. So I might be more specific and say I want to download YouTube video to Mac, so I'm using Mac. And then whatever results that returns will just be videos. And a lot of them will be YouTube videos, but it might be another way of finding information without actually going into YouTube. Google Books. So if you're researching a topic, you can search the index of the world's books. So whatever you put in there, the results will come back with these are the books that information can be found in. This is where you can buy those books, so it will give you some online sites where the book is available. It will also tell you what libraries you can find it in your country. And then go and organise an interlibrary loan or actually go to the library. If you want to buy the book, it takes you straight to the Google Play Store, which is Amazon's ebook store, so you can actually buy that actual book. If you're doing research or you're just looking for a topic on something, it's a good way to find a book. You can search for a book, you can read it online. If there's an online version available, you can buy it or you can borrow it from a library. Google Alerts, so if you're, again, interested in a topic, you can put in a search query and then indicate what sort of information you want to be notified about. It's sort of like your own personal web search that comes into your e-box, your mail, once a day, once a week, once a month. How often is how often you decide you want it. How many of them? Do you want the best results, or do you just want certain results on maybe you just want video or blog? And where's it going? So you've got my email address in there. So once a day, I might put a topic in like uh, what's a good topic? Can't think of something. I can't think of anything. The weather. If I thought of something better, or maybe a movie star or something. What is that movie star doing? You can put that person's name in there, and then anything that occurs on the internet about that person will be returned to you once a day. Is when I usually do it. So that I can find all the places on the internet where that person's name has been mentioned and can go and look at them all. And then when you finish, we don't want that alert. You go back to the same address and you can cancel it. But it's a very good way of doing research, or even if you're just interested in a topic, rather than you having to go and search everything out, it comes to you. Google News. Newspapers, not as good on historical news as it used to be, but certainly will get you uh, current news, and you can decide in the top there, this is the Australia edition, so you can get different editions of the news, different versions of the topics. And you can again pick you can put a search term in up in the search bar, or you can look at what are the trending news stories. And it'll give you links to go and read those news stories. It's quite good. Picasa for images, so you can actually have Picasa as a program on your computer, Mac or PC, but you can upload your photos also. This is the actual Picasa site where it's giving you the link to download Picasa. Once you've got Picasa on your system, it makes it easier to share and tag those photos with Google's other services, so the email, the Google Plus, which is the social networking. There is a link coming up where you can actually have online Picasa albums to upload your photos to. So it's a good way of sharing, a bit of editing on it as well, all free. You get so much space per Google account, and I can't remember what it is. But if you could, when you create your account, it will tell you how much space it gives you for Picasa and for Gmail, for Google Drive. The web albums, so picasaweb.google.com is where you create or upload all your pictures. You need a Google account to sign in, but you can share your photos with your friends and your family. It's similar to Flickr, which is another online sharing site. You only get so much space, so if you've got a lot of photos and you're running out of space, you have to pay for more. And it's quite expensive, I think, that's why I didn't use it. But it's a good way of sharing photos, not putting everything up there, just putting some of the photos that you want to share. You can share them privately, you can share them publicly. You can look at what other people have done as well. It's a good way of getting your photos out rather than stuck on your computer. Google for productivity, home and office. There are a number of different services that are useful for either a student or just a normal person, who does a document here and there. Google Drive, everything is being saved into the cloud these days. So Google has its own version of cloud storage. As part of your Google account, with a Google account, you have access to Google Drive, which is your little space in the cloud where you can access and update files from your local system, so from your computer, from a phone, from a tablet or iPad, you can upload files to Google Drive. You can download files from Google Drive. It works very well with Google Docs, which is Google's version of Office. And there is a limited amount of space. And again, you'd have to check how much space you're given when you sign up for your Google account. Something like 5 gigabytes, I think. There are a lot of apps that actually work with Google Drive, and the link at the bottom there is a link that you need to access from that accompanying document. But this is just from the Chrome Web Store, and there's a link there to Google Drive. All of the different apps that are working on the internet, or maybe they're small programs that integrate well and work well with Google Drive. So if you're looking for a photo editing program, you've got PicMonkey there, which is an online Web 2 type of program that you might sign in and create an account with, upload a photo, edit your photo, and then you can transfer that photo to and from Google Drive. It works well with that. Everything you can do in the cloud. Just do as much as you can in the cloud. Then it's available anywhere, and you don't necessarily need to have everything saved on your local drive in a physical form that you can see the file. It can be up in the cloud. Google Calendar. Again, you need an account to sign in, and there's its link. But if you're looking at Google and you're tending to use Google quite extensively, particularly if you have an Android phone or tablet, which is using the Google, and you have to actually have a Google account to use it, all those things are synchronized very well. If you're using an iPad, then you wouldn't use Google Calendar or Google Contacts. You'd be using the iOS version of iCal or Contacts. If you're using Google, then use Google's products. You can use a mix and match of them, but as an iOS user, an iPad user, I do not use Google Calendar or Google Contacts. I use the Apple versions of these, but I do use Google Drive. Translate's another Google service, and there are a lot of apps that you can get that translate what you say into another language, and most of those are based on the Google Translating API. But in this one, Google Translate, you can just do it straight onto the web from a phone, from a browser. So you can be in your Internet Explorer, you can be in Chrome, and you can just do translate.google.com and decide what language you're going from, what language you're going to. What you type in on the left is, in this case, it's English, and I want that translated into French. And there is a little microphone there that I can actually record it. Instead of typing in saying, "Good morning, it's hot today," I could click the microphone and say it. And as it's being translated, there's a little sound icon, which will, if I click that, I can hear how it sounds. So I can hear the pronunciation of it. It's very good for languages, or if you're traveling. Gmail, the best email online program, I believe, and I use that all the time. Gmail account. There's the address for it. The Gmail gives you 10 gigabytes of space. It's available with any internet connection. It integrates with Google Drive. It integrates with many programs online and in the cloud. It's got excellent spam control and integrates with Google+. It's got video chat, mobile apps. The alternatives are Hotmail and Yahoo Mail as the best three. But Gmail, particularly if you're using Google services, is one of the better online mail accounts. Google Docs. You can use the Google equivalent of a Word document, of a Excel document, of a PowerPoint document. So you can create a document. It's like a word processor up in the cloud. You can create a new one. And then you can share that, and you can send that. You can upload existing files. So you might have some existing Word documents or spreadsheets or PowerPoints. It tells you the file formats it accepts. You can upload it. You can edit it. You can save it back down to your hard drive. You can share it. You can collaborate so that other people can use that same document. Or you can send it to somebody, email it to someone, share it out, make it public, make it private. It's very, very good. Google Docs. There's some links up there. There's a blog on what you do with it. There's some templates that'll give you a start. You can try it. It's an excellent way of managing files and doing documents from within the cloud rather than having to be at home on your computer where you've got to have Microsoft Office and you've got to have that open. You can do everything up in the cloud. Store it, save it, edit it. Google Maps, perhaps the best mapping experience is Google Maps. The iOS Apple Maps app is still not up to scratch and I wouldn't use it, wouldn't go near it. But Google Maps, very, very good. Street View, 3D view. In this case, if you want to annotate your map or have a map that is a little bit more personal to you, then you need to log in. But generally, you don't. You can just go onto into your browser and just do Google Maps. If you can't remember the URL there, just type into the Google search bar Google Maps and type in your the place, and it'll come up. It'll give you street directions and driving directions. There are also mobile apps. So if you've got a mobile device, be sure to download the Google Maps app, particularly if you're on the iPad or an iPhone. Google Earth, a little bit more than the normal Maps app. It's a program you actually have to download. So you've got to download Google Earth. It's also an app that you can download, and it actually gives you virtual tours of the world. And in this case, you can look at NASA images from Mars. It gives you 3D flyovers. It's another way to explore the world's geographic information. Google for tablets and phones. So if you're on the iPad, there is an app called GWiz, which has all of these Google services within that app. If you're on a phone or a tablet, simply by going in your browser on the phone, so if you're on the iPhone or iPad, in Safari, you'd type in m.google.com and it will come up with a whole list of possible Google apps that you could download and install to your phone. Same for Android, you can do the same thing. In your Android browser, so it'll be in Chrome if you're on an Android phone or an Android tablet, putting that URL into your browser will give you a whole lot of apps that are specifically for Google. So all the different services that we've been looking at. The next part of the video is all about social networking, and that will be in part 2 of this.